Hey guys, my name is Haley, and today we're filming a book haul. Probably much overdue. I try to wait till I get to like 20 or 30 books. So, depending on how many books I'm buying, it might be a big gap between. But I feel like I reached enough that I should probably haul them so they can all go where they're supposed to be on the shelves. Some of them are grouped by when and where I got them, others are just random. So, let's jump right on into it. First off, we have the books I got on my trip up to Canada. I went to not Toronto. What's the other one? We went to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. And we went to Chapters and Thistle Bookshop in St. Catharines. And there I got two books. And that is Cold by Drew Hayden Taylor. This is what I deemed a thriller that is set more in November as opposed to October. And this is like three different people's perspectives that somehow connect with this mystery that's going on. And I also believe this was a local author to the area. So when I do go shopping in a place that I don't think I'm ever going to go again, or at least not very often, I try to get local authors if I can, if they sound interesting. So this one piqued my eye. Next up, we have The Lost Tarot. This was low-key a cover by, but also anything with tarot in it, I'm interested in. Is that a person who gets a tarot card in the mail, but the tarot card doesn't exist, and so it's this mystery surrounding that. That's literally all I needed to be sold on it and buy it from that tiny little bookshop. That was really cute. And then we found a Chapters, which I've never been in one, and I was really excited. And the first thing I saw was this, which is the recover of Guild. This is the first book in the Plated Prisoner series. Did I need to buy this? No. Did I need to buy it in Canada? Absolutely not. Are they on KU? Yeah. Am I probably going to read them on KU? Mm-hmm. Do I own this now? Also, yes. And then they had a really good discount section. As you can see, I got this for $8. It's called The Gossamer Mage. I've never heard of it. It's something about a person creature called the Deathless Goddess. It seems to be fantasy. I liked the cover. I bought it. And then we had an impulse of these were 3 for $20, as you can see by the stickers. Do I know anything about these? Not really. Do they seem to be a chapter / indigo like special edition? Have I ever seen anything like these before? No, because we don't have those here. This one is We Have Always Been Here. This is something about queer refugees, which was enough to make me buy it. This one is called Love Lives Here. This is something about a character who has a trans daughter. So this deals a lot with trans identity, so I was very interested in that one. And then this one was the one I piqued my interest the least, but I needed to get 3 of them to get the discount. And that is The Break by Katharina Vermette. And this seems to be some sort of mystery, like crime thriller, told from different perspectives, about a young mother who calls the police on somebody who's looking suspicious out in a field, and then the story that comes from there. I also really love this artwork on the front. So that was my Chapters Indigo haul from Canada. Next up, we have my Illumicrate books. I will preface this by saying I have since canceled Illumicrate, mainly because I'm trying to budget more, and also I have not been getting to the books at all that they've sent me. I'm still interested in a lot of them, but I have not been getting to them fast enough, so I just decided to cancel it for now. The first of those, since my last haul, is The Phoenix Keeper. This is a cozy fantasy, which I don't think is up my alley, but it's beautiful, so I have that one. And then this one I was really excited about because I've actually been wanting to read this since it came out, and to have a special edition was really fun, and that is Mistress of Lies. I've seen several people talk about this and love it, and I also love the edges in this edition. It's beautiful. And then the bookstore near me, Black Cat Books and Oddities over in Medina, had a grand reopening, or a grand opening of their second house, which, if you didn't know, they are set in like a residential sort of house, and they decorated it to different, all the rooms are themed. And they opened a second house that has like a fantasy room, and they have a romance room. They have a little Chronicles of Narnia section. They have a whole horror room that's like Frankenstein themed. I love it so much. And I picked up 3 books at that trek out to Black Cat. The first being Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. If you know, Mary has been one of my favorite books of the year, and I had just read this right before I went there, so as soon as I saw a copy, I had to grab one to support local. And then I picked up the like special sprayed edge edition of The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. I did not get to this before the end of the summer, which probably means I won't read it until next year, but it's fine. And then I picked up Queer Little Nightmares, which is an anthology, which I'm not a big anthology person, but I do like queer anthologies, and this is a queer monster anthology. So I've been slowly picking that away. picking away at that in October. And then, like, September-ish, one of my pre-orders came in, and that is Compound Fracture by Andrew Joseph White. This is the same author as The Spirit Bears Its Teeth, which I talk about nonstop. And then, not even, like, a week later, I had a book plate come in by itself from, like, Georgia, and I was like, what is this? Because at that time, I didn't even know it was a book plate. And it was an Andrew Joseph White book plate that I might have signed up for at some promotion of this book, because obviously I had it pre-ordered. But I have no memory of even getting that, so I was very confused when it came in the mail. But I'm very excited that I have a signed copy now. And then I made a mistake. It was an accidental mistake, but a mistake all the same. So I joined Aardvark Book Club because of Jan, from Jan Agaton, because I really wanted a copy of Bury Your Gaze, which, do I have this in my haul? I didn't. Oh my gosh. I forgot about it. Hold on. I forgot about it. I got Bury Your Gaze. I got the Aardvark subscription specifically for this because I had just read it and loved it. And then it was a pick another book, so I got a book that was coming out in the month, and that is A Dark and Drowning Tide, that I had been anticipating. I have the Aardvark edition of it. And then not even 2 weeks later, in the mail from Illumicrate, again, since I've gotten rid of my subscription, I got a Dark and Drowning Tide, also in the Illumicrate version. So now I have 2 copies of A Dark and Drowning Tide. So I hope that I like it. Otherwise, this is going to be awkward. Like, as much as I love Illumicrate and they have beautiful editions, they're mostly like high fantasy, and I'm still like trying to delve back into that genre for the most part. And my brain has been on a horror kick, so it just doesn't make sense for me to have that subscription at this time, sadly. Next up is a random one, because I have a video I've been meaning to film for like 2 months now that I haven't gotten around to yet, because it's classics and I'm not great at classics, but it's my own fault because it was my own idea for a video. And that is, I picked up a copy of Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I've never read this, and I want to. I also keep seeing, is this the one that's about Big Brother? Is this the one that has the Andrew Garfield like TV show or whatever it is coming out that I keep seeing the preview for? Let me know. Next up, I picked up a copy of The Merciless. This is the 4th one, the last one that is out. I don't know if it's the last one ever of this series, but this was not available through my library at all, sadly, so I had to pick up a physical copy. I still haven't got to it yet, but I love this series. And then we have a bunch of like library finds that I've picked up at a couple library sales in the last little bit. The first being Night in the Lonesome October, which I did read during October, so you'll hear about it in my wrap-up. But this was 100% a cover buy. And I'm glad that I enjoyed it, because I actually really did, but we'll talk about it more later. But I picked this one up. And then I picked up Other Eyes. This is also on my TBR for October. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. I might end up reading it in November, but I do want to get to it. And this is about Egyptian folklore and has to do with magic mushrooms. And then I also went back to Black Hat because they had an event. It was like a cryptid festival that they did as one of their first like big events that I know of, at least. And I won like I'm actually wearing this shirt. I won a photo contest they were doing with like one of the like free mocktails that was like set up like a blood bag. I'll post the photo here. So I picked up We Came to Welcome You because I had just finished this and I wanted to buy it. And it's really expensive on Amazon and everywhere else. So I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for me to buy one of my favorites of the year. And then more library book sales. We have The Kingdoms of Savannah. If you didn't know, I used to live in Georgia for a hot minute there for like almost a year. So anything set in Savannah, Georgia that is remotely spooky, I am interested in. So I picked this one up. I also picked up what is a large print edition, but that doesn't bother me that much, of the final revival of Opal and Nev. This is like a rock star romance, I'm pretty sure. That was like really popular a couple years ago, I want to say. So I figured this would be the cheapest way for me to acquire that. I also picked up The Kingfisher Secret. I 100% picked this up because it sounds like it is based on a current American politician in a situation with a porn star and a past president of ours. I think it's based on another country situation where something like this happened, but it is so reminiscent of said certain politician that I was like, And it's also anonymous, so like whoever wrote this didn't want to be attacked by his fans. So that intrigued me more and I picked it up. Then I picked up a book called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which I have seen. My glasses are not staying on today. I have seen this in like every thrift store ever for the last several years and never even like thought to read the synopsis. But this is apparently has queer characters and also I think has something to do with a cult. So in the interest of me trying to film my Cult Rex video, I picked it up at the library sale. And then we have The Deadlands. I'm not gonna lie, I picked this up because it is blurred by Stephen King. It says, "Good God, what a tale, don't miss it," which if Stephen King says that about your book, I'm intrigued. And this seems to be post-apocalyptic set in like a torn down St. Louis where they've built a wall in a place called the Sanctuary. I've read a lot of post-apocalyptic and this sounded like a fun one that I'm willing to try for $1. Actually, I don't even think it was $1. Most of these were from like a bag sale, and the bag itself, like a full bag of books, was like $3. So I spent even less than that. And then we have a middle grade that I wanted to read for years, and that is The Glass Sentence. This is like a book where like each continent, I think it is, are set in different time periods, and that premise alone has always intrigued me. And this is like a middle grade trilogy that I never picked up. So when I saw it for cheap, I was like, now's the time. And then last, I picked up 2 little mass market paperbacks of Christmas mysteries. One is an anthology of Christmas mysteries called Mystery for Christmas and Other Stories. That looks super old. And then we have Death Beneath the Christmas Tree. And I thought these could be fun for like a little vlog sometime in December. So that was the main reason for picking those up. But yeah, that is my updated book haul. I don't think I will be hauling very many more books for the rest of the year. I usually don't in like November and December because I tend to save them for like Christmas lists, and if it's one I really, really, really want and I don't get it from anybody for Christmas, I will just buy them with like gift cards and stuff in January. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. If you made it to the end of the video, leave some fall leaves emojis in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.